stopping by. On my channel, I want to talk about makeup and especially project planning makeup. I thought it would make sense to start with filming my inventory. So enjoy my inventory numbers and talking about the stuff I own. I have a smoothing primer, which is this one. I have a glowy primer, which is this one from Fenty. It's the Eavesdrop Lit or whatever it's called. Yes, Eavesdrop Lit in Taffy Topaz. The Fenty Beauty mattifying primer, which I'm currently not really using because I want to use up this one and the Eavesdrop Lit primer first. And this small little tiny size of the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. Water Jelly Hydrating Primer. Yeah. Which this one is not really open yet. So I didn't dig into it. I just wanted to test it. And as I said, I'm working on these two to be finished at some point. So this is my primers. Counting 4. Here you may enjoy my lovely collection of setting sprays or finishing sprays or how you want to call it. I have to admit that I only use setting spray or fixing spray or finishing spray or whatever you want to call it for spraying my eyeshadow brushes actually. So I don't use them on my face very often or not at all. So it's very sufficient that I have 3 of them. I'm currently most of the time using this one. The one from Essence. It works fine. As I said, I only use setting spray for spraying my brushes or my eyeshadow to make it pop or make it stick a little bit better. I also tested I feel like everybody who has to do something with makeup needs an all-nighter from Urban Decay. I don't know. I have that since a pretty long time in my collection, but as I said, I'm not really using it the way it's intended to be, so I'm not really flying through setting spray. So having 3 of them is quite a lot. So these are all my powders, and I have 6 of them at the moment. I did finish one loose powder like last month or so, I'm not sure, so my inventory numbers went down already a bit in the powder area, but I do have 4 pressed ones. This one I'm mostly taking with me when I'm like traveling or something because it's very handy to have something that small. I didn't really open this one except for repressing it because it got broke during transit to my home. I also didn't really use the Fenty Beauty pressed powder. I'm currently using the glowish one. In the summer times I actually really like it because the last weeks I wasn't really into wearing foundation, and I feel like this one is giving a little bit of coverage actually. I don't really like very full coverage foundations. I'm more into skin tints or light medium buildable coverage foundations. So in the summer when I'm not really using foundation, I feel this one is very handy to have a tad bit of coverage. The Revolution one is fairly new to my collection because I wanted to try a rose or pinky powder. This is my powder collection. So here you can see all of my foundation-like products, or products I don't know where to put else, and using it with foundation, which is a color corrector here. But these are my skin tints, the Danessa Myrix one, the Yummy Skin tint. I have used this like once. I cannot really tell if I love it or not. It's maybe a tad bit too dark for me. I'm a very fair person, but yeah, I have to check whether I really like it. But nevertheless, I want to try and finishing it up. This is the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop in the shade 2. I really love that skin tint. I really love it. I used up another shade of this this year, so just quite recently. I used up the shade 1, and I have now the shade 2 left in my collection, and I'm pretty pleased with that, and I probably would always repurchase that one because I love it so much. It is kinda expensive, but you get a lot from it, I want to say. Like you're getting the normal amount of 32 milliliters saying here. So you're getting the normal amount, but for me and my preferences from coverage level wise and all of that, it's really doing a great job, and it lasts me like, I want to say 3/4 of the year. So it lasts me a very long time, and it works really well with my skin tone. And well, with my skin. The skin tone is debatable because it's a skin tint, so it's not that quite coveragey. So I feel like you don't have to have the perfect shade in a skin tint than in a rather more coveragey foundation. But well, it is what it is. I feel like everybody is saying that very loosely. It is what it is. I actually hate that. I'm sorry. I have the Rare Beauty skin tint as well. I like that also. I have mine in the shade 16C. I think I'm a cool tone person, so this is why I chose this one. I don't really know whether there's tape or why there's tape on it, but it is. Well, I did use that not as often as I would like, but I still know that I liked it, but it's not as good as my Eavesdrop, I would say. I just recently marked everything, so this is why those handy little project panner signs are on my products, so I hope you will enjoy. I do have one stick foundation. Fenty Beauty is one of my favorite brands when it comes to complexion products. So I have mine in the shade 1. I like it, but I have to be honest to myself that I'm not a really like stick foundation person, I believe. It's now pretty light because I am a little bit tanned right now. But it shears out quite alright and works well. So this is kind of a good travel foundation, I would say, because it cannot spill or anything like that. So for that reason, I like to have it in my collection, but I don't know if I'm a stick foundation girl or just not. So the REM foundation I like pretty much. I have the shade Fair CN here. This is a pretty good shade match. And I like the kind of whipped texture of it. I don't know, it's something different, and it works on the skin pretty well. But I also used that not a whole lot of times, so I cannot really tell if I really love like whatever it. So yeah, have to dig into that a little bit more. I feel like for now it's also a little bit light because I'm tanned, a little as tan as I get. But yeah, it's still in my collection. I want to use it up. And I find the texture to be pretty interesting because it is kind of whipped and nicely feeling on the skin. I also have the Rare Beauty, how do you say, weightless whatever foundation. I don't know how the real name is, but I'm currently using this because this is actually the darkest next to the House Labs one in my collection, and this is why I want to try and use it as often as I can in the summertime when I'm a little bit tanned. I have the shade 150C. I like this one also alright. I actually only like it applying it very sheer with a dense brush, so I'm more more a sponge application girl. But this one I really much or I really have to put on with a brush, otherwise I really don't like the look of it, and I don't know why, but here we are. I do have the House Labs foundation in the shade 050, yeah, Fair Cool. This is not my shade. This is too dark. This is not cool. But I believe I just misread the like information which was present concerning this foundation. I think I would need to go with a neutral shade, but I don't know. I have it now. It was pretty expensive. I wanna make the most out of it and use it, and I can make it work. When I'm using it, I'm mixing it with the Fenty Hydrating one, which is in the shade 100, so the lightest one, and this is quite light, especially in the summer. But those two together, they quite work, and this is how I'm trying to use them up. So I like the finish and all of that, but this is not my shade, and I'm really bummed about that. But yeah, I have it in my collection and I want to use it up, and let's see if I manage to do so before it expires. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 like solid foundations, 1 stick foundation, and 3 skin tints. This is rather very random in that category because I don't know where to put it else. This is my only color corrector, and I'm hoping to get rid of any color correcting things in like my makeup journey, because I want to have the right shades and I don't want to have to mix everything, because I find that super annoying and rather time consuming. But I got it to make like yellow foundations like this one is, a little bit more cool toned, which also makes it a little bit darker, so it's not ideal, but yeah, I wanted to try whether it does work for me or not. So these are my foundations. And last but not least for my inventory series, here are my concealers, which I have 5 of them. But I do have the Fenty Beauty, like the old concealer in the shade 120. This is still unopened because I have 3 others to work on. And also the NYX Bear With Me concealer serum in the shade Fair, I believe I do have it. Yes, it's Fair. Is also unopened. So 2 of them are unopened, 3 of them are opened. I have the Huda Beauty one in the shade Honey 1.7b. I love that. I really love that. It's a very good concealer for me. It's now, when I'm a little bit tan, a little bit too light, I believe, but I could also make it work. It has really good coverage, is just looking good on my under eyes. At least I find so. And I'm currently working on the Rare Beauty Concealer, which I have the shade 160C, I believe. I don't know, the shade name has fallen off, and I'm currently working on it. You can see the mark. The mark was done beginning of August. I think this one also has a pretty whipped, like, sorry for the noise, pretty whipped consistency, I would say. It's this one here. And therefore it goes a little bit faster, like progress-wise, because me and concealers, using up concealers is like a joke. I need, for a normal sized concealer with, I don't know, 5 to 7 milliliters of, how much is in here? 9. It's even bigger than the last one I have used up. It's ridiculous. It's taken me like 1.5 or 2 years to use up a concealer. I don't use that much of product when it comes to concealer, because I cannot, like, my under eyes can't take that much of product. So yeah, it takes a very long time. And I also have the House Labs concealer. This is also unfortunately not a very great shade match for me. It's fair peach. It works better than the foundation. It doesn't do anything when it comes to light up something, but I don't try to achieve that with my concealers. I just want to have my blue areas a little bit smoothed out. So that works better. I don't know. I don't like it as much as the Rare Beauty or the Huda one. So yeah, do I regret purchasing this? That's maybe an idea for another video. For now, I do have 5 concealers in my collection. Thank you so much for being around and seeing the first part of my collection, of my makeup collection. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.